I wanted to give you guys a quick glance at what the Euro thinks the snowfall could look like over the next 10 days. Like I said, tons of snow potentially for the Rockies. You're going to get some, I know that, but I think you're actually going to get a lot. And then you can see we want to get maybe 1 or 2 snowstorms through the plains and up here towards the upper Midwest. You can see how dry it is. No snow down here in the south and east. I shouldn't say dry. You're probably going to have some thunderstorms and rainfall, but when it comes to snow, that's going to be up into the north and west because we're going to have those warmer temperatures down here because of that ridge settling in to the Ohio Valley down there to the southeast. And our winter storms are going to try to ride that ridge really from the Pacific up here towards the upper Midwest. Now, we spoke about these temperatures. We're pretty warm across much of the country right now. Of course, the east still dealing with some cold air like they have been for most of this winter, or I should say some below average air. Watch as we get into late Saturday and Sunday. Finally, some of this heat is trying to take over out east. Some cooler air beginning to move into the Pacific Northwest potentially, but look at this Monday into Tuesday, into Wednesday, the Ohio Valley, the east. This is going to feel like winter is over for you. I do not believe it is. I believe this is our false spring. It's going to maybe last 7 days at most. I should say 7 to 10 days at most. And I do think we get the cold air back. Now you can see right here as we get into the 20th, the 21st. I mean, the latest Euro thinks this heat's only going to last maybe 3 or 4 days out east before we try to get another trough into New England, into the mid-Atlantic along the coast, and you get more relief. But you can see what's happening out west here as we push forward 10 days. Models right now are thinking a lot of very, very cold air. And we haven't seen this in a while. We're talking about temperatures 30 to 40 degrees below average out west. This is pretty typical to see over winter. We haven't seen it really at all this winter. We can also see we're starting to get a very steep temperature gradient here across the plains. We know the closer we get to March and April, you can start to get dry line setups here. This temperature gradient can lead to some very, very powerful storms, some significant severe weather. So this is something to watch as we get towards the end of February as well. And again, you watch the end of this run, the Euro is not quite ready to say winter is done for the States. We do have a stratospheric polar vortex that is breaking down right now, and some models suggest we could actually see a wind reversal. They suggest it could be a major sudden stratospheric warming event, meaning, as I've said before, the coldest air on the planet, that air in the stratosphere above the North Pole, sinks down and tries to make its way down to the mid latitudes, which could completely reinvigorate our winter as we get into March in the States.